Elton Sailing Club obtained voting rights in 1958 from British Waterways, and now regularly holds both race meetings and pleasure sailing on the reservoir, which was formerly partly in Bury and part in Radcliffe. The reservoir was built in 1805 to provide water for the canal, on the side of which Benny's nightclub, once the Farmer's Arms pub, stands. This was originally a farm and is probably over 200 years old. Despite the canal having reached a state of almost dereliction, attempts to reopen the waterway have begun on this section by the Manchester, Bolton and Bury Canal Society, formed in 1987 by 17-year-old Stephen Parker. The occasional open day will surely become a regular weekend event in future summers. The canal opened in 1796 with both industrial traffic and passenger packet boats. When the railways came, the canal owners took the title Manchester, Bolton and Bury Canal and Railway Company. The Manchester to Bolton line was completed, but the Liverpool to Bury Railway overtook them, and the plan to operate railways by the Canal Company never emerged. Approaching Radcliffe, the canal passes under the bridge that once carried the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway line to Bradley Fold. At Radcliffe, the present stage of restoration is reached at a substantial wharf. The river flows to the south of Radcliffe towards Little Lever. In the Irwell Valley below Little Lever is Cream's Mill, probably the oldest paper mill in Lancashire, dating back to 1674 and established by James Crompton. Above the mill, the Bury to Bolton Canal ran by Lady Shore Colliery, which supplied coal to many mills along its banks. There were many breaches in the history of the canal, but a major breach just beyond Lady Shore in 1936 was left unrepaired, leaving the canal navigable only between Bury Bridge and Lady Shore Colliery until 1948, when the mine was closed. The canal manager's house overlooks the Knob End Locks at Prestolea, a flight of 6 locks giving access to the Manchester branch of the canal. Wide barges were used to cope with the demands of commercial traffic. Above the locks on the Bolton stretch of the canal stood the lock house and a group of cottages. Near where the Irwell joins the River Crow near Knob End is Rock Hall, built and possibly lived in by the Crompton family, who owned the Farnworth paper mill nearby. Rock Hall is now a visitor centre and a listed building, forming the headquarters of the Crow-Irwell Valley Countryside Warden Service. Beyond Knob End, the canal is carried by an aqueduct some 60 feet above the River Irwell. It is flanked by a modern bridge carrying a sewer pipe and a smaller, narrower bridge that once carried the pack horse route from Bolton to Manchester. Beyond Preston, the canal flows towards Ringley.